Hi guys, welcome to Razon.com. This is Mohit Soni and right in front of you is the Husqvarna Swart Panel. You know these bikes were launched a couple of months ago in the Indian market after being exported from here to the world and a couple of years ago, and now they finally made it to the Indian market, but due to the lockdown and the pandemic we were unable to test drive the vehicle for you. Now we've done that. We've spent some quality time with the Swart Panel here, and we'd like to tell you how it's like to ride. As always, let's begin with the design, because one of the reasons why we begin with the design is the Husqvarna Swart Panel is a very good looking motorcycle. It's very futuristic, very minimalistic. If you thought the KTM Dukes were minimalist, this is even more minimalist. I see one panel here, and that is it. That is what the vehicle is all about. The rest is the chassis, the engine and the wheels, and this absolutely lovely looking headlamp here, which looks really good. I love the finish on this number plate holder here. There's this rack here to mount your luggage. I think it looks very good. It lends the character to this motorcycle. The champagne gold finish tank cover also looks very good. This is a bit loose here, and in terms of other things, you can see it's not this part has started to rust, and the switch gear and the palm grips and everything remains similar to the KTM Bajaj group. That is the kind of seat that you have here. This is the 2020 version, so the 401s and the 701s got a slightly bigger subframe, so they have incorporated the idea when they made this one, and this is primarily based on the KTM Duke 250. So you get a good amount of seat here. It's only best for very small pillions, and you've got a very big grab rail here as well. What you also see and will notice and will like as well is the fact that this very smoky finish tail lamp that is on offer here looks very good. That's how the indicators look like. Those are the tires that we all love nowadays. These pattern tires look really good, and they gel on well on our roads, which is pretty much like this only throughout the country right now. Love the exhaust design. Love how it's branded here quite simply and neatly. Like I said, these are the two panels on this motorcycle, and it looks very impressive. This 3D emblem here and finished in black also looks very good. Overall, needless to say, very purposeful, very minimalistic design from Husqvarna here. It looks very impressive as well. There's no denying that. And in terms of features, let's look at the instrument cluster here. What you get here is what you see: distance to empty, low fuel light warning, temperature gauge, info, and that is it. You don't get much apart from 2 trip meters, which is shown here and here at the same time. I don't know why. That's the mode for the ABS, which is in road mode. If I keep it pressed, what it tells me to do, it goes into supermoto mode. So now I can slide my wheel around and have fun on surfaces like this and while off-roading. That's the instrument cluster, again bare basic. There's no proper or fuel efficiency parameters shown here on this motorcycle, despite the fact that the Husqvarna motorcycles are on the expensive side. They don't get the entire set of instrument cluster here. I think we also know the fact that the 250cc platform allows KTM to give this much only. I think when the 400 will come, which is pretty much confirmed to come for this 2020 Diwali, it will pack more features and will be a bit more well finished, because it's being made outside the country now. Once it begins production here, it will be sold here as well. And the finish also could get better here, because that bike may have a different set of panels and the way the bike is screwed, so a lot less wiring could be visible. But here there's a lot of things going on. But despite the fact all of the small issues that we noticed here and all the great things that we've looked, it still grabs a lot of attention. The curiosity level is very high for this motorcycle on the road. There's absolutely no denying. Thumbs up for this motorcycle while riding in times like this. Clearly shows that this design is absolutely a masterpiece. It looks purposeful, minimalistic, and you know, it just looks amazing. It just looks like a Tron motorcycle. If you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, search around, you'll get your answer. Now let's discuss the even more important part, the riding part. It makes 30 PS of power, 27 Newton meters of torque from its 250cc liquid-cooled 4-valve engine. It's a KTM engine, and this block has been derived from the KTM Duke 390, and so is the gearing, and so is the lower half of the engine. So the gearing is exactly like the KTM Duke 390, and the 5th gear and 6th gear are poles apart from each other, and the rest of the gearing is also on the taller side. So once you are a 390 rider, if you test ride this bike, you're going to find it a little bit more irritating, because you have to rev that hard and you're not going that fast. But that's a great fact for new riders who will jump on this motorcycle. If you fell in love with this design absolutely, and you're still riding, let's say, 150cc motorcycle or jumping to 250, you will not be scared, because it's a very docile, very easy engine to live with. It's very smooth, very refined, vibrations are bare minimum, and the gearbox is one of the best gearboxes that we've ever witnessed on a Bajaj KTM Husqvarna motorcycle till date. It's got a slipper clutch as well. It blips the throttle for you. It matches the revs basically, and it does it really well. Apart from that, like I said, NVH is good. Top end performance takes a lot of time, like I said, because it's tall geared and the power is all the way at the red line, so it takes time to reach there. You can cruise at, let's say, between 100-115, but it will feel a bit stressed. The best cruising speed would be under 110, and that's the place where it can return you 35 kilometers to the liter as well. That's what our road testing team told us while they were test riding this bike, and which is a pretty good number if I considering this 250cc segment. Clutch is light, like I said, gearbox is smooth. Ergonomics, well, it is also again based on the Duke, so it feels like a bike which is slightly lower. Handlebars are set lower, not as low as the Vitpillion, but it's slightly lower than, let's say, the first generation KTM Duke 390, which I ride on a daily basis, to compare off. But this is very similar to the second generation of KTM motorcycles in ergonomics as well. So riding, the riding dynamics also remains pretty similar, so that means you get a lot of feedback from the front end. The brakes are 320mm rotors, so they are very good. They are not the previous ones 300mm weak motors. This is a 320 rotor at the front disc brake. Brakes are pretty good. It could have been a bit more sportier. I don't like, there is feel at the front end lever and there is good bite, but I don't like the weight tune. It feels like the Dominar 250 and not the KTM Duke 250 in terms of braking feel. And the tires are good. They're doing really well on wet, on gravel. We had a lot of fun riding this bike in various conditions, and we absolutely love the tire performance in all given conditions, be it wet, dry, gravelly, anything. It provides a lot of confidence. Don't let the size fool you. This motorcycle is quite capable. You can tour on this, you can do your weekend rides really well, but you're going to stop for fuel a lot, because the tank, as we all know, is barely 10 liters. So you're only going to get on the highway 180 kilometers to a tank at max. And it turns in really well. The feedback is very good at the front. The wheelbase is very short. You can absolutely keep up with those meddling scooters in traffic and chase them if you want, because it is very nimble, very agile, and very docile. Even the handling is very docile, just like the engine. So it's an overall very calming motorcycle to ride. It looks great. The pricing, well, it started at 180, now it's around 2 lakhs, and it reaches around 230ish or 240 in some cities when it comes to on-road pricing. It is a bit expensive, but then what you're getting is a fantastic product, a good looking product, an engine chassis which is pretty much proven now. They are turning out to be quite reliable. It's slightly early to say, not even too early to say, but slightly early to say that this platform has been doing really well. There's been a whole host of complaints over the years. They are being rectified out, and with the Husqvarna, everybody should, the consumer should benefit that feedback which was given earlier. And we are very sure, and the Husqvarna team also tells us that, as always within the Bajaj KTM group, all improvements are transferred onwards. So what you're getting is a very good bike, fairly reliable, extremely good looking, I keep on saying that again and again, and decently good value for money. Yeah, that is it. That is what the Husqvarna Swartpillion 250 is all about. We'll ride the Vitpillion and tell you more about it, and other bikes as well. So subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment if you still want to ask us anything, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.